Morning.
Morning.
We're just checking out our veggie beds. So these were our two initial beds that we put in quite a while ago. And in here we've got, in this one, we've got some carrots and some leeks, some spinach, some snow peas at the trellising at the back there. And down here we've got some baby peppers and some canned chilies. Look how good they are.
Oh, they're cool, aren't they?
We've got some of them in the jerk chicken tonight for the barbecue.
Have we?
Ian's doing barbecue tonight.
Again.
Yeah, in this one we've got some beetroots, and down that side there is pak choy or bok choy. At the back there we've got some cucumbers.
Did have two.
We did have two. So what's happened is, because these beds are so low, the bandicoots are getting in and they are digging.
Oh, it's happened over there, look.
Yeah, so they're getting in because the beds are so low and they're uprooting all of the seedlings. So we've lost quite a few. We had spinach all the way down this side. But as you can see, the bandicoots have got in and dug them up. And then the leeks over that side, they've done the same over there.
Some are still going in the corner, but it needs to be a better raised bed, doesn't it?
Yeah. So we lost a cucumber, unfortunately, because, again, same thing. So the plan, if you come over here, Ian built me this garden bed.
God, I can do a lot of different things, can't I?
It's very handy. We ran out of space and we wanted to plant some corn. And of course, to plant corn we need...
Stumpy.
Stumpy, out! See, Stumpy doesn't help that Stumpy can get into the garden bed either. Stumpy, good boy. Yeah, so Ian made me this huge garden bed to plant corn. And we've also got some tomatoes around the edges. So this was just some reclaimed roofing tin that we had lying around, and we had some of these posts left over as well from the trellising. So Ian put it all together, and then we went and got some soil from the depot, and so now we've got some beautiful corn growing in here. We've also put some cabbages. I don't know how well cabbages are going to go in the tropics, but we thought we'd give it a go.
Only really got a short window of cool weather, haven't we? That's why we struggle with things like...
cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower is really tricky in the tropics.
Even cucumbers, you get that.
Yeah, you got to
mildew
replant all the time. So that's the key. A lot of stuff you can extend your season, but you've got to keep on top of replanting because they don't last too long. But this is a good time, winter.
Well, I think what we're doing this time, as in corn, carrots, beetroot, stuff that we can preserve, freeze or pickle.
Yeah. And
then just buy things like lettuce, because lettuce just bolts.
Well, that's why we were growing spinach, because Stumpy. That's why we were growing spinach, because we can use it hot or cold, so it's quite versatile. So the plan when we get time is that we use some more of our leftover lying around tin and posts, and we enclose these beds here so that they have protection, because the bandicoots and Stumpy have not gotten in here. So if we can enclose these beds, and as you can see now, you can probably see in the distance, that's where all that bamboo that was on previous videos. So we've cleared all of that.
Who got rid of all that?
The fairies came in. And so now, and this area really is quite unusable for adding more jackfruit trees and so on. So, and it's close to the house. It's close to water, so it's perfect. It gets the morning sun. It's perfect for growing veggies. So hopefully we can get more veggie beds in and be a little bit more self-sufficient, certainly in winter. Anyway, the reason that I came out here before Ian distracted me with making videos was the pumpkin vine, so this is going to be another garden bed. And what happened was this pumpkin vine was in one of those smaller beds there, but we wanted to use those for the carrots and so on. So I ripped the pumpkin vine out, thinking it was, you know, finished. We got more important things to plant. And I just threw the pumpkin vine on here. So I didn't plant it, it was all, I literally ripped it out and threw it on here, never to be seen again. And this is what happened. It decided to make some miraculous recovery. So now we've got the pumpkin vine in here, which is cool, that's fine. I've got some zucchinis growing at the end, which again I need to do more because bandicoots have ripped some of those up.
You've got some fruit set down here.
Yeah, so I came out this morning to do a little bit of pumpkin sex.
Hand pollinating. But
they know what I mean. So here we've got the male
with the long
and
thin.
We have we're on here. So this, you can see here, has got a little baby pumpkin. But we found that we were having to hand pollinate.
More during the heavy rain, I think, isn't it?
So we've got the male and we're going to give the female some love.
Kissy, kissy.
Who would have thought these things go on in the garden, hey? And I'll just go around and do that with any females that I find so that hopefully we get some pumpkins.
And a good thing with pumpkins is they keep well, don't they? You just store them in the...
And also they're another thing that you can freeze. You can
put
them into cubes and freeze them. So, yeah, very versatile. Make lovely pumpkin soup. Roast pumpkin, delicious. And ours are the best. Supermarket pumpkins, nah.
Well, over fertilised, aren't they?
Yeah, just tasteless and watery. So...
Okay.
That's it, hey?
Yep.
Now we're going to go and mulch some more dragon fruit cuttings.
Yeah, more spines in my fingers.
All right, catch you later.
Bye.
Bye. So these are called Dove Orchids. And the theory behind Dove Orchids is that when there's rain about to come, they flower. Now it is a theory, and there's a lot of debate as to whether it's true or not. But we've got quite a few Dove Orchids. They grow on the trees. And generally they are a pretty good predictor of rain, we found anyway. So the Dove Orchids, we can see these ones from the bathroom window and they smell so beautiful, especially when they are fully in flower. This has only just started. These Dove Orchids only just came out this morning. They weren't here yesterday. And it is a little bit cloudy today. We've had a little bit of drizzle. But looking at the weather prediction, we have got some rain coming. So it will be interesting to see if they did predict the upcoming rain event. Apparently, they flower when there's a change in barometric pressure and temperature, which usually signals the onset of a rainy period. So we'll see. We'll see if they actually are telling the truth and we do get some upcoming rain. It's usually, they say the Dove Orchids will predict rain in about a week's time. So we'll see what happens. But aren't they just so pretty? Hey guys, welcome back to Meadowcroft Farm. We are just in our nursery and these are the jackfruit plants that we've got left to plant out. We've planted a heap out already, but these ones are all good to go. But we just thought that we would talk a little bit about our nursery setup. So we put this nursery in probably 2 or 3 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And as you can see, it's all shade clothed, which will protect from the sun, although we do have some problems at the ends here, where the pots will still get warm and dry out. So we do want to put sort of a barrier here just to protect the pots, because as you can see, they are black.
Because they're black and the sun's on the side, it tends to warm up the pot itself, which dries them out a bit quicker than ones in the middle.
Yeah.
And we stick to the same pots throughout, because if you've got different pots, some will get the right amount of water, some will end up too wet, and some too dry. So to have consistency, yeah, this is how we do it. Same size pots, slight gap in between each one.
This works really well. We got this mesh and it secures the pots.
Yeah, when we get windy days and they're this tall.
Yeah, so they got blown over when so we all get some more of this to keep the pots in.
So they stand on, I think this is 50 mil mesh, and then this is 100 mil. So yeah, if the wind comes, it doesn't knock them completely over, because we tend to have winds sort of from the east southeast, which means the wind comes in from our left. If it knocks these over, imagine nearly all of them. It's almost like
it's like dominoes.
And then you have to come back in.
It always happens at the back.
Yes.
Never at the front. Yeah. So then we're scrambling to the back of the nursery trying to stand pots up. Nightmare. Anyway, this works really well. Yeah. Ian rigged up the irrigation.
Yeah. And this is
laser light.
Yes, laser light corrugated sheets. Our original nursery was all shade cloth. The issue with that we came across is during the wet period, where it can be raining, we can get 100, 200, sometimes as much as 300 mils in 24 hours. And what happens in the pots is that it becomes so saturated that the bottom 50 mils or more, depending on how intense the wet season is, sort of congeals and turns into a sludge, and then the roots don't like that. It becomes too sour and it affects your root system. So we put the laser light on, so no rain gets in, but that allows us complete control of how much
it's worked a lot better from last year's.
Well, it also helps us with fertilising, which I'll show you what we do in terms of the fertiliser. Imagine if it's raining 200 mils a day, you don't want to be putting, just close that up, the irrigation on as well. So we've got a timer here, which allows us both the duration in minutes and the frequency in hours or days. At the moment it's quite overcast and drizzly, which means the pots aren't drying out much. So at the moment it's on 15 minutes every 72 hours, and that's more than adequate. And the way that it's set up, we have down here, can get this in, babe, a Venturi system. So the water's coming in from this direction through here and then up to the outlets, and in here the water's compressed down here and then opens up again, and when it opens up it creates, imagine a vacuum, which then sucks water through this pipe here, and this pipe is in this container which contains our fertiliser. So every time that it comes on, it just sucks down the fertiliser and the trees get just that touch of fertiliser every time the irrigation's on, which works really well. Really well. And then over there is our tunnel. We use that when we're propagating seeds or if we're doing cuttings of trees. Some trees are quite easy to propagate from cuttings, so we use that. There's misters in there so that there's very, very fine water spray, creates humidity. We don't use that for once everything's germinated, roots are formed, then we pot them up and move them here. Gives us a lot more control. So yeah, that's how we do it. If anybody's got any ideas of how we could improve it, yeah, let us know.
Yeah, leave a comment down below.
It's always a big learning curve.
Yeah, we're always learning.
The people that say they know it all are the ones that...
You never ever know it all.
Well, you don't listen to them because that's rubbish.
So yeah, it's been a work in progress. It's been constantly modified and it is working pretty well at the moment now.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
If you don't try things, then you don't learn.
But the trees definitely look super healthy.
Oh, God, yeah.
And they've got, when I've been planting out, the root system is really, really good.
Right to the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas in the old days, when they were exposed to the wet season, like say that bottom 50 mil or 2 inches, depending on how you work, yeah, the roots wouldn't be in there. So much, much better.
Okay, better go get planting. Okay, guys, moment of truth. Did the Dove Orchids lie? Or did they actually predict rain? Well, turns out they were telling the truth because it is raining. So we have had little periods of fine drizzle since I videoed the last video where the Dove Orchids behind me were in flower. That was 7 days ago. And it has been overcast and a little bit drizzly at times, but nothing significant. Today it is raining with the prediction that it's going to get heavier throughout the week. So, turns out our little Dove Orchids were telling the truth. They did predict the rain.